What if I told you about a scalpel, but instead of being made of steel, it's made of pure code? A tool so incredibly precise it could spot a disease long before a human doctor ever could. Well, this is the new frontier of medicine. It's powered by artificial intelligence, and it is changing absolutely everything. So let's dive in and see what this algorithmic scalpel is all about. So think about this question for a second. What if a computer could see something that a doctor, even the best doctor, misses? And look, this isn't some far-off sci-fi idea. This is happening in hospitals today. Just picture it. A family's waiting for answers, doctors are scrambling, and a life is literally on the line. What if the one clue that could save them is buried deep inside a mountain of data, completely invisible to the human eye? Well, it's not a what if anymore. In a real-life case, this is exactly what happened. Doctors were completely stumped, but then an AI went to work. It sifted through mountains of genetic data, it scanned endless pages of medical literature, and it started connecting dots that human experts had totally missed. It pinpointed a rare condition and even a potential treatment. That's the kind of power we're talking about here. And that brings us to this idea we'll be using, the algorithmic scalpel. It's the perfect way to think about it, right? Like a surgeon's scalpel, it represents this incredible precision, this power to heal. But it also reminds us that any tool, no matter how powerful, is only as good and as safe as the hands that are guiding it. Okay, so the first place this algorithmic scalpel is really making its mark is in diagnostics, the absolute foundation of medicine. AI is basically giving doctors a form of superhuman vision. It's letting them see the invisible signs of disease. Just consider the difference for a second. A human expert, no matter how brilliant they are, gets tired. Their eyes can only see so much. But an AI, it can scan thousands of images, 24/7, tirelessly searching for these tiny, microscopic patterns in the pixels that might signal a disease way before a person could ever spot them. And, yeah, it never needs a coffee break. And this isn't just theory. AI systems are already approved to detect certain cancers from scans with incredible accuracy. They can spot something called diabetic retinopathy, a leading cause of blindness, from a simple photo of an eye, sometimes in under a minute. And in neurology, they're helping to untangle these super complex disorders. The bottom line is really simple. The earlier you can detect something, the better the outcome. But look, seeing the disease is really only the first step. The next huge step is fighting it. And this is where AI is completely revolutionizing how we create new medicines. And maybe even more exciting, how we can create a custom cure designed specifically for you. For centuries, medicine has been a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. You get a diagnosis, you get the standard treatment. Well, personalized medicine completely flips that script. The idea is simple, but totally revolutionary. Your treatment should be based on your body, on your unique genetic code. And AI is the engine that's finally making this possible on a huge scale. So how does it actually work? Well, instead of painstakingly testing compounds in a lab for years and years, an AI can digitally simulate millions of molecular interactions in just a few hours. It can scan your genetic code to predict which drug is going to be the most effective for you. We're already seeing cases where AI has found a handful of promising drugs for a disease out of millions of possibilities, a job that would have taken a decade to do by hand. Okay, so let's bring this back down to earth. What does this actually mean for you or for me? Well, it could mean a cancer treatment that's designed for your tumor's specific genetic signature. It could mean a drug for a super rare disease gets developed in record time. Ultimately, it means more effective medicine with fewer side effects, all tailored to your body. Now, AI's impact isn't just in the flashy high-tech labs. It's also becoming the central nervous system of the entire hospital, doing all that behind-the-scenes work that is just as critical for taking care of patients. I mean, think about how incredibly complex it is to run a hospital. AI is now being used to manage everything from figuring out bed availability to predicting ER wait times. It's automating those mountains of paperwork that lead to doctor burnout. And yeah, in the operating room, it's powering robots for surgeries with a level of precision we've never seen before. This chart right here, wow, this tells a huge story. Just look at how much of a doctor's time gets eaten up by administrative tasks. It's a massive cause of burnout, and it means less time with patients. The promise of AI here is to completely flip this ratio, to automate the bureaucracy so doctors and nurses can spend more time doing what they got into this for in the first place, caring for people. But it's not a perfect utopia. You know how it goes. A tool this powerful, something that touches something as personal as our health,
raises some immense responsibilities and some very, very difficult questions. And that brings us to the really hard part. The challenge isn't just technical, it's deeply human. How do we make sure this technology is rolled out in a way that's safe, fair, and actually works for everyone?
There are really three major hurdles we have to clear. First up, data privacy. This tech runs on our most sensitive health data, so how do we protect it? Second is bias. Imagine an AI that's great at spotting skin cancer on light skin because that's mostly what it was trained on. It might completely miss that same cancer on darker skin. That is a huge problem we have to solve. And finally, accountability. If an AI system gets it wrong, who's responsible? The doctor? The hospital? The developer? These are tough questions with no easy answers, but they are the conversations that have to happen right now.
Which brings us right back to that central idea: this technology is not our replacement. It's our tool. It is an instrument of incredible, incredible power, but it's one that requires human oversight, human ethics, and human compassion to guide it. Its potential is only as good as our wisdom in using it.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. The algorithmic scalpel isn't science fiction anymore. It's not coming, it's already here. So the challenge for all of us, for patients, for doctors, for technologists, is to figure out how we build the ethical framework to make sure this incredibly powerful tool always heals and never harms.